Okay, so my story, my art journey. First of all, I'm doing this in my car as I'm driving to go pick up my daughter from college. So, literally, you're on a journey with me. So, anyway, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Amy Parker, and I am an artist. I did not go to art school. I did not go to business school, but I did build my own art business at home and online since the past 2.5 years. Now I have grown my art collectors to 780 art collectors, and the number keeps on growing. Now, to me, that's unlimited art collectors right now, because I can only draw and paint so much in a day to actually fulfill everyone's art desires who collects my art. So now I am mostly painting what inspires me and what I love to paint. I'm finally in that point of my life where I don't have to take on commissions anymore if I don't want to. I do open up commissions to my special collectors every once in a while, but for the most part, I am creating the art that I love and offering that to my collectors. And I'm not rich, but I'm not starving. I pay my mortgage and all my bills every single month with my art income alone. And there was a time where, actually a lot of times throughout my life, where I wanted to do this, but I never really could see a way on how to do it. But I finally did discover that and made that happen for myself. So I guess my art story here is, for a couple of reasons why I want to deliver this to you is so, number one, you can know who I am and see if you have a connection with me, and maybe my story can inspire you or help you in some way. And that brings me to the second reason why I am telling you my journey here, is so that I can help you also with your art journey. So whether you are looking for living artists like myself because you love art and you want to collect pieces, or you are like me, you are a creative person and you are an artist but you're struggling right now and you want to find a way to build your customer base like me, I can help show you the way to do that. And if you are, just kind of dabbling in art a bit, or, you feel like, oh, geez, I'm not really that good yet, and you struggle to even draw a stick figure, but you have a desire to become an artist, well, I can help in that area too, by giving you the techniques and strategies that I have taught myself throughout the years to create paintings and artwork that is marketable and that is, structured in a way that fulfills my artistic desires and also my collectors. All right, so, I don't have a script here. I'm pretty much fly by the seat of my pants kind of person. And I'm very, very busy as well. So that's why I'm recording in my car today. So I've been an artist my entire life. Always been creative since I was little. And an entrepreneur since I was very young. So my mother really helped to develop my art skills at a young age, because she always let us kids get our hands dirty and do arts and crafts and create. She also loved to take us kids out nature, walking, and going to the beach. We lived by the ocean when I was young, so I really grew to love the beauty of the world, and I love to discover new things. So a lot of my paintings now, I mostly paint abstracts and landscapes, and I am inspired by nature mostly, just like I was when I was a little kid. So I also learned, the term starving artist when I was young. And, I was always, I guess, brought up to believe in my dreams, but also to be, let's be realistic here. Like, can you make a living as an artist? I mean, I guess if you're lucky. But that seemed a little scary. So even though I used my artistic abilities throughout the years, and I did start selling pieces here or there, doing commissions when I was in high school, I always worked another job when I was a teenager, and then early 20s started to develop my own businesses, and I'm almost 50 now. Sorry, my phone's falling. And so I built businesses throughout my life that didn't have anything to do with art, really, but just had to do with my passion to create my own income. And so, for the most part, I fell on my face. I didn't really ever have a lot of money, a lot of capital behind me. So, most of the businesses that I created and ran were service-based businesses, something that was easy for me to get up and going myself with little to no money. And most of those businesses, like I said, I fell on my face. I actually lost money, or I didn't make any money. But there was a couple that I did end up doing not great, but fairly well enough to pay the bills with, right? So I ended up having a cleaning company that I ran for 7 years with 5 independent contractors, and I built that business up to 40 accounts, residential and commercial. This is when my kids were really little, and I was a single mom. So, cleaning wasn't fun. It wasn't my passion, but it was, paying the bills. It was very stressful, though, to have independent contractors and all those accounts and being a one-woman show trying to run everything and take care of the kids. So, that kind of fizzled out because I didn't really have the passion for it anymore. I ended up buying a house. My kids were still, they were tweens at this point. And I had a cosmetology license, so I decided, okay, well, that's a bit more creative than cleaning houses. So I started my own hair salon in my house and eventually built that up enough so that I rented a spot on Union Ave in my city, where I ran my hair salon for 6 years and had 8 employees. So to kind of make a long story short, this still was not my passion. And with the hair salon, the employees, rather than independent contractors, gave me a lot more stress than I've ever had before. You know, I'm still trying to take care of the kids, run a household, and take care of my business with all this overhead and all of these employees. I'm not good at numbers either. I don't really like numbers much, having to figure all that stuff out. So, you know, that was another headache, and I had to pay out more for a payroll company. And, you know, when I saw how much I was paying out in rent and overhead, and sorry, my camera keeps falling. Rent and overhead, and you know, paying self-employment tax and paying Social Security tax, and, you know, basically all the taxes. It was just very stressful. So I ended up closing the business, and I went to work for someone else, which was a little demoralizing because of the fact that I like to be my own boss and be an entrepreneur. But it also gave me a break on the stress end. So I went to work at a Chinese restaurant where I was a waitress, and it was good because, you know, hey, it paid the bills, and I didn't have the stress of running my own business. And I did this for 3 years. And within that 3 years, you know, I kept going back to the hopes and dreams that I've always had to run my own art business, to create from my home ultimately and sell my paintings. So, you know, I really didn't know how that was going to happen. You know, I did all kinds of art shows and craft shows intermittently throughout the years. I was in the Art Association, did shows with them. The art shows and craft shows, as you know, if you've done them yourself, unless you are very lucky, can be stressful also. Most of the time I was hoping to make enough money just to pay my booth rent. And I had numerous pieces get ruined from transporting. Didn't really like the driving, setting up, breaking down, all that. So I'm waitressing, and I knew I didn't want to go back there and do the arts and crafts shows game again and pray and hope to make money. I knew I wanted to sell my art from home. One day on my day off from the Chinese place, I drew a charcoal portrait of one of my dogs and threw it up on my social media, a before and after picture. And all of a sudden I got all of these comments coming in, likes, hearts, loves, you know, all that stuff. And I ended up getting 5 orders for portrait drawings of people's dogs. Just from that one post, putting it up and showing others what I was doing. And so I messaged them all back, and, you know, I did eventually complete all the orders, but I told them, hey, you know, I'm really busy, working, waitressing, and taking care of the kids and stuff, and I will get your portrait done as soon as possible. And they were all understanding. So that's what I did, you know. And I'm at work carrying around my boo-boo platters and thinking, geez, you know, if I could get these 5 orders done, portrait orders, like immediately, I would make enough money for the whole week as I would be waitressing. And, you know, carrying around my boo-boo platters, my back spasming a bit. I got a bad back now, I'm getting older. And I'm thinking, do I really want to be waitressing like this forever, or do I want to be doing what I love? Obviously, people are interested in my work. And I didn't really know how I was going to make that happen still, but my wheels were spinning. So while I was waitressing for that 3 years, I took my downtime at work, which was like an hour, sometimes 2 hours, in between lunch and supper, where I would get on my phone and I would research how to market myself online, because I didn't have the collectors at that time. I had friends and family and a few people from the past that have bought, paintings or drawings from me, but I didn't have the customer base where I could just quit waitressing at that time. I didn't dare to do that with my house and my kids, and just throw my hands up and just, I do take risks, but I didn't want to risk all that. So I did take the time, like I said, within that 3 years, to use my downtime at work to research how to promote myself and use social media. I started teaching myself some skills on how to use the computer, because I'm from that old school era where we didn't have computer class. We had old-fashioned typing class. That's what I took. But I had a little bit of skills. I was on some social media to watch, to look at pictures of my nieces and nephews and talk to my sister who lives in Georgia. That's kind of what we all use social media for, right? Is to connect with family and friends. So I noticed, I started searching other artists that were actually, appeared to be, anyway, to me, that were doing well and had successful businesses online. I started following them, researching them, seeing what they were doing, and basically put myself through Google and YouTube school. You know what that can be like? That's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, right? Not just once, but every single day. If you're trying to learn something on your own, it can get pretty daunting and take a while. I remember many days getting up and excited in the morning, like, okay, I'm going to work on my business, and I just need to learn how to do this one thing for my post or whatever. And I would search for like 20 minutes to find out how to do that one thing. And then, for example, I would get the answer, but then that one thing would require me to learn how to use an entire application. So I'm like, are you serious? This is just, But I did it. Eventually, I did it. And I've created a interactive course now to help other artists cut all those corners and to be able to basically ride on my coattails and me give you exactly what you need to run your own art business at home. Now, it's really not as hard as most people think, but it did take time to, like I said, learn and figure out and put together my own strategies and construct things in a way that would work for what I wanted to do. And like I said, right now I have unlimited collectors. I am so thankful for that. Wonderful collectors. They're great. These people are awesome, and I love connecting with them and having that community, my own community of art lovers who admire and love my work and believe in me as a person. It's a wonderful thing. I also would like to mention too that I am, believe it or not, an introvert. So, being on camera was never easy for me, and I still get nervous at times being on camera. But after getting my feet wet for a while, it gets a little easier. Now, it's a lot easier for me to work from home and be on camera and to message people, talk in my groups and things like that, than it was for me to talk to the crowds that would stand behind me while I'm doing portrait drawings at a arts and crafts show. It's just, for me, being an introvert, this is the best thing that I could have done for myself, to reach people and connect with people by being online and being in the comfort of my own home, because I'm still reaching them and connecting with them, but I'm not in a big noisy place surrounded by a bunch of people. I can control the amount of stimulation that is coming in. So anyway, I know I've talked for a while and I didn't go into every single little detail about my entire life, but at least you get some bit of my backstory here on how I became to be in the position that I am now. So I am very, very excited to share that with you, and I'm excited to help you along with your own art journeys. And if you find my story inspiring, or you like my personality and feel like you can connect with me, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so that you don't miss any new videos that I upload for you. Feel free to check out my playlist that I have together for you all right now. And remember, keep on creating.